In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 college basketball games happening on December 1st, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Temple versus Villanova. Villanova enters this matchup with a steady profile built on control at home. The team holds a record of 5-1 overall and 4-0 in its own building, and it has won by wide margins while pushing the pace into the low 80s. Temple arrives at 4-3 with a roster that still works to find consistent footing. Its struggles on the glass sit near the bottom of the national rankings, which creates problems against a group that already leans on strength in the lane and steady work on second chances. Oddsmakers have graded that gap and placed Villanova as a clear home favorite with a strong win probability from major analytic models. That number reflects how the group handles leads at home, since several recent wins have stretched into double digits even while dealing with a few rotation question marks. The setting adds more weight to that pattern. This is a Big 5 game inside a loud building, and the hosts tend to use that energy to extend runs rather than trade baskets. Temple faces a tall task if it hopes to slow those stretches, especially against a team that rarely eases off once it finds rhythm. As our first pick for this matchup, the Villanova Wildcats to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total brings a different kind of tension. Villanova scores more than 80 points per game, and its recent results show plenty of pace. Temple sits just under 80 on offense and allows more than 75, which creates a style that often becomes free-flowing. Recent Temple games read like open-court basketball with final scores pushing into the 150 range or higher. Villanova has lived in similar territory with several outings clearing the mid-100s due to spacing, quick shots, and long rebounds that turn into transition plays. Oddsmakers place the number near 150.5, which assumes both sides will settle into half-court possessions. That setup feels tight in a rivalry game where both coaches value tempo and know that stops may come in short bursts. Villanova may lean towards smaller lineups if injury notes hold, and that usually produces more motion and quicker possessions. Late fouls and urgent three-point attempts can also push a game total upward when both teams chase points as the clock winds down. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Tarleton versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati enters this matchup with a style built on steadiness, size, and control, and Tarleton meets it with pressure, grit, and a willingness to turn every possession into a test of nerve. Tarleton's defense forces turnovers at a strong national rate, yet its high foul count stretches its rotation in tough road environments. Cincinnati leans on its depth and holds opponents in the mid-60s per game, and it keeps a solid scoring margin even while working around real injuries in both the backcourt and front court. Tarleton already showed how its pressure can break down when it faced a high major with length at LSU, and now it walks into a building where Cincinnati rarely gives up control of the floor. Cincinnati's sharper interior play, steadier whistle management, and stronger rebounding profile shape a contest that favors the home side's physical approach. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cincinnati Bearcats to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total hinges on Cincinnati's pace and Tarleton's ability to score in long stretches without giveaways. Cincinnati started the season with a quicker tempo, but recent games trended slower, with fewer possessions and a stronger focus on half-court execution. Cincinnati produces at a modest clip on offense while defending at a much stronger level, and most of its games this season stayed below the number. Tarleton improved on offense from last year, but its road profile still includes turnovers, fouls, and scoring droughts when matched with a long Big 12 defense. Cincinnati's injuries also matter, with one rotation forward out long-term and its leading scorer still listed as uncertain with a hip issue, which limits lineup cohesion and scoring flow. These factors point to a game shaped by defense, slower sequences, and fewer clean transition chances. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Bowling Green versus Kansas State. Both teams step into Bramlage Coliseum carrying word form records of 5 to 2 to 0. The line treats this meeting like a simple power mismatch, with Kansas State priced as a sizable favorite and the total placed just under 160. Bowling Green enters with a fast pace inside the national top 100, an offense that scores in the mid-80s, and a defense built on constant pressure that forces turnovers at an elite rate. Kansas State returns home after a stretch marked by sloppy ball control, including 19 giveaways at Indiana, and it continues to run an offense that values speed over caution. Injury reports list both teams as fully available, so the matchup turns on rhythm, tempo, and decision-making rather than personnel. The contrast creates an underdog built to disrupt, because a pressing mid-major on a confident run can bother a favorite that gives space to opponents and struggles with turnovers. As our first pick for this matchup, the Bowling Green Falcons to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The total sets up for a high possession game with two healthy offenses that rely on movement and early clock shots. Kansas State scores just under 90 per game and sits in the upper tier of national efficiency, with a pace inside the top third and a steady volume of three-point attempts. Bowling Green stays close in raw scoring at around 86 per game, using 5 consistent scoring options and a scheme that turns many steals into quick points. Their pressure also leads to fouls when they miss the ball, which creates free throws and more scoring chances. Kansas State gives up close to 80 per contest, which pushes many of its recent results over the listed totals at home. Oddsmakers opened the number higher, then bumped it down into the high 150s, a reaction that reflects respect for a few recent unders rather than any real shift in the style on the court. With two fast teams, high turnover volume, frequent three-point attempts, and the usual late-game fouling risk in a competitive spread range, each side has a path into the high 70s or beyond. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Cal Baptist versus Colorado. Colorado and Cal Baptist enter Boulder with matching records of 7 to 0 to 0, yet they arrive from very different paths. Cal Baptist has lived in a calm corner of the mid-major world, while Colorado has pushed through a far tougher landscape in the Big 12. The Lancers leave sea level in Riverside and walk into a loud home arena that sits more than a mile high, where the thin air greets every visiting team. Colorado has already handled several home games this season without a setback, and the group now leans into fast possessions and steady scoring. Cal Baptist prefers control, steady half-court sets, and a slower rhythm that keeps opponents near the low 60s. The matchup creates a clash between a team that values measured possessions and one that wants quick strikes. Colorado's depth, length, and comfort in this building give them room to keep that pace alive as the game wears on, especially when the spread sits in a modest range. As our first pick for this matchup, the Colorado Buffaloes to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Oddsmakers set a total in the high 140s for good reason. Cal Baptist often creates slow games built on patient defense. Their results show steady control and several low-scoring outcomes, and their road profile fits the same mold. Colorado plays in the opposite direction. They score freely at home, and their comfort in open space gives them chances to raise the pace. Cal Baptist rebounds well and creates second chances, which lifts possession counts. That mix of altitude, steady offense, and two teams that generate extra looks points the matchup towards scoring rather than a tight defensive grind. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.